Good evening, class. We are going to be going over percents greater than 100 and percents less than 1%. These are the worksheets that we're working on. These are out of a textbook, McGraw-Hill, that we use occasionally. Okay, so there are over 220,000 species of plants on Earth. Of those, 590 are carnivorous. They eat flesh. Plants such as the Venus flytrap catch their prey as food. What percent of plant species are carnivorous? So this is our total down here. And then this is the carnivorous. So there's 590. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by 10 because that gets rid of that 0. And I get 59 out of 22,000. So we are going to express that as a decimal. And in order to do that, we need to divide using Nito. The numerator goes on the inside and the denominator goes on the outside. And wow, that's a huge number. So we know we're going to have to be adding several zeros there. So first thing I'm going to do is add those zeros, and I am going to go, well, how many times does 22 go into 59? Well, it doesn't go here. It doesn't go here. So I'm going to put my 2 zeros. This is one of the things that I've noticed that you guys have the most trouble with, is you need to make sure when you're doing this, you're looking, where am I actually going into? So I'm going into this whole number right now. So my answer needs to be placed, sorry guys, right here. So it goes in 2 times. Okay, and that gives me 44,000. And I am going to subtract and get 15,000. I'm going to add another 0. And we're going to the nearest thousands. We're rounding to the nearest thousands, so I need to go to the 10,000. So that's tenths, hundredths, thousands. I need to go one more place. And 22 goes into 150 about 6 times, so I'm going to assume this is the same thing. So I'm going to just try this. 2, 1, 132. Look at that. It works. I'm going to add my zeros in, and this allows me to round. So I have 0.0026, which rounds to approximately 3 thousandths. So I'm going to express my answer to exercise 2 as a fraction. Say its name, 3 thousandths, 3 over 1,000. Since 3 tenths is 30% and 3 hundredths is 3%, what percent is equal to 3 thousandths? Explain. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to move that decimal to the left. We're going to go to the left, to the left. Everybody moves your decimals to the left. 2 places, and I get 3/10 of a percent. Now this is less than 1%. Very small chance of this happening. 3%, 3/10 of a percent. And the reason we would do this is when we move the decimal two places, we get 3/10 of a percent, or 0.3%. These are equivalent, fraction, decimal. So what percent of the plants are carnivorous? 3/10 of a percent. Not even a whole percent, less than 1%. Percents greater than 100% or less than 1% can also be expressed as a fraction in simplest form. So we take this and we're going to make it a decimal. So we're going to move it to the, which direction do we go to decimal? To the left. Okay, so we have 0.2 once, twice, add our zeros, and we have decimal 002 as a decimal, or 2/1000ths. I can write this as a fraction. Say its name, 2/1000ths. This can be simplified to give me 1/500. Express 170% as a mixed number in simplest form and a decimal. So 170% is 170 out of 100. How many times does 100 go into 170? That's one whole. We are left with 70 out of 100. This can be simplified to 1 7/10. I'm dividing by 10. Now, if I want to write this as a decimal, I say its name, 1 7/10. Okay, we're going to write each decimal as a decimal and a mixed number or a fraction in the simplest form. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to move that decimal to the left, to the left, to the left. Everybody moves your decimals to the left. 2 places, and we get 25/10,000ths. If I write that as a fraction, say its name, 25/10,000ths. I can simplify the numerator and denominator by 25, and I get 1/400. Okay, let's try this one. I'm going to write it as a fraction first. 300 out of 100, because percent means out of 100. I have 100 goes in there 3 times. That is 3 wholes. This is my fraction and my decimal. I could write it as 3.0 or 3/1. These are all correct. Okay, what I would like is for you to try this one. I will check this in class when I walk around tomorrow. Okay, so example 3. Jimmy's savings increased by 250%. Express 250% as a mixed number in its simplest form. So we do the same thing, 250/100. This gives me 2 wholes, and 50/100. We know that this is the same as 5/10, which is also can be simplified to 2.5. We have learned, because we memorized those benchmark fractions, that 1/2 is the same thing as 0.5. Okay, so the stock price for a corporation increased by 0.11%. Write 0.11% as a decimal and as a fraction in the simplest form. So we're going to go to the left, to the left. Everybody moves your decimals to the left. Oops, sorry. And we have 10,000ths. And then we're going to write that as a fraction in its simplest form. So we say its name, it's 11/10,000, and that is what we get. Okay, mixed numbers to and decimals as percents. We're going to do this the opposite way. So I like to change it as a decimal first. So a quarter, 1/4. We know we will write that 1 25/100. This is a one you're supposed to have memorized. And then we, to the right, to the right. Everybody moves your decimals to the right. 2 places. Okay, how about this one? How do I write this one? 2 9/10. There we go. Going to move it to as a percent. To the right, to the right. Everybody moves your decimals to the right. 290%. Your turn. Try this one. Okay, you have these 2 examples in yours. So we move it to the right, to the right. Everybody moves your decimals to the right. How about this one? To the right, to the right. Everybody moves your decimals to the right. Okay, you're going to try these here. Okay. The cheetah is the fastest land mammal in the world. Sorry. The peregrine falcon is the fastest bird in the world. Its speed is 2.1 times as fast as the cheetah. Express this number as a percent. We're going to move it to the right 2 places. We get it is 210% faster. Okay, you are now going to do this problem. I know you have these. We are doing these in class. Do not do these right now. I will see you guys in class tomorrow. You guys have a fabulous night.